What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Louisiana Guys Sports Talk. And today, I want to go over the NFL games from last week and a lot of things going on with a lot of different teams. And I just want to go over the games, go over those teams in each game, and kind of talk about them and where they're at currently. And things of that nature. I also want to talk about the MVP race and who's going to win that. First, I just want to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed to the channel. We are almost to 50 subscribers, so if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and interact with the channel. Thank you to everyone who has already interacted with the channel and commented, liked, watched. I really appreciate it, and I thank you very much. So last week, I went 14-1 in my picks. Now, I didn't pick the Falcons and Buccaneers game on Thursday, December the 11th, so I don't get to count that one. But in every other game, I went 14-1. So I just want to go over these games that I picked and just talk about these teams and what they're going through and what maybe the future looks like for some of these teams. We want to get into the MVP race, but I'm going to get right into it here, and I'm just going to start with the list that is here on ESPN. But let's start with this big one. What a game with the Bills versus the Patriots. I mean, this game, let me tell you right now, it was fun being on X during this game. By the way, I opened an X account, so I'll put that link in the description, my handle in the description if you want to go follow me on X. But it was very entertaining. You had guys like Dave Portnoy getting on whenever the Patriots were up 21-0 and ranting like they owned the league and all of that. And then to watch, I remember seeing that score. And I picked the Bills to win that game, and I thought, wow, I could lose that one. And that was a tough one because the Patriots are very good. But I just saw 21-0 at halftime, and I was like, man, you got Josh Allen, though. 21 points is not a big deal for Josh Allen if he gets hot. And so what a game. That was fun looking back. These tweets keep on popping up on X of people, Patriots fans chirping before they ended up losing that game. But what a game. These are definitely two of the best teams in the league, definitely two of the best teams in the AFC. But the Bills ended up pulling it out. And it's a great game, and maybe we'll see this one again in the playoffs. But I just want to say one thing about the Bills. The Bills look a little inconsistent. I love the Bills. I love Josh Allen, but there's too much. Josh Allen is going to lose in the playoffs if he keeps having to do hero ball. And this is why I think that the Bills have lost and struggled against the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs the last several years, is because you really can't uphold that. Things get so much harder, so much tighter in the playoffs, and it's really hard for one guy in the playoffs to just dominate a football game. And so, as much as I love the Bills, I still worry about them this year, that they're going to be able to pull it out in the playoffs. And because every team that plays against them, you essentially know you got one thing to do. You got to control Josh Allen. It's not easy to do, but listen, these coordinators are good. They know what they're doing. And I dare say, if the Patriots and Bills meet again in the playoffs, Mike Vrabel, he is a great coach, and he is not going to he's not going to make the same mistakes twice. And so I don't know. The Bills are great. Josh Allen is great. But, man, I do not have a lot of confidence that they are going to just be able to go to the Super Bowl. Honestly, the Patriots, like I said, I don't think they're going to make the same mistakes twice. I wanted to say one thing about Mike Vrabel. What were the Tennessee Titans thinking when they let go of Mike Vrabel? I remember when they let him go, I'm like, he was winning games. He was going to the playoffs with Ryan Tannehill. He didn't have a quarterback, and every year they were competing. They were winning games. They were going to the playoffs, and then they let him go. And then when they let him go, I was kind of shocked that every team that needed a coach wasn't jumping on that as quick as possible. It was very clear in Tennessee that Mike Vrabel is a amazing coach, and he knows how to create a culture. He knows how to be a leader of men. And man, what he's done with the Patriots in 1 year, and the emergence of Drake May. And you could say, well, Drake May's gotten better. Well, Drake May got better because he's got a good coach. There's a good culture there now. And so the coach makes all the difference. Mike Vrabel is going to be one of those guys who's going to be a great coach in this league for many, many years to come. And what were the Tennessee Titans thinking? It's just unbelievable what some of these organizations are thinking. That Tennessee's already fired their coach this year. I mean, they're trash. They're garbage. But let's fire Mike Vrabel because he was the problem. No, he wasn't a problem. All right, let's move on to Ravens and Bengals. Man, that was okay. I picked the Ravens to win this game. The Bengals, they feel lost to me. But man, I didn't know they were this lost. I didn't know they were this lost. I did not see 24-0 coming. I saw the Ravens winning this game. The Bengals are kind of in shambles. Their defense is terrible. Joe Burrow is coming back off an injury, and it's just something's not right in that team right now. I don't know if the coach needs to go. I don't know what needs to happen. What with Joe Burrow coming out and making the comments that he made about not having fun and all of that, I don't know what's gonna how that situation is gonna turn out. I'm of the opinion that I think Joe Burrow is putting pressure on the organization with those comments. He's pretty much, but I don't think he's bluffing. I think he's serious. I think he's saying, look, I would think about retiring. I would think about going to another team if something doesn't change in this organization. I don't have a lot of confidence in that coach. In my opinion, Zach Taylor's got to go for sure. I do not have confidence in him. Something's got to change in Cincinnati, or they're going to lose one of the best young talents that have come out of college in a long time. Look, the Ravens can beat anybody at any time. We know that. They've got the talent. They've got it all. It's just, can they put it all together consistently? It may be too little too late with the Steelers too far ahead, but man, you've got a big game coming up with Baltimore and the Steelers at the end of the year. That may be for all the marbles in the division. We'll have to see. But look, the Ravens are great. They can beat anybody at any time. They've had some really tough losses this year. Close games, some really tough, close losses. They're not a bad team. They're a good team. If they got into the playoffs, I wouldn't want to play them. But anyways, I didn't see 24-0 coming in that game. You've got New York Jets and Jaguars. This was one of the easier picks. The Jets they're just terrible. Let's just be honest. The Jets are terrible. And the Jaguars, I can't say I got a lot of confidence in them, but they've been good this year. They've been pretty consistent. Trevor Lawrence is the key. If Trevor Lawrence can play, I mean, he doesn't even have to play like he played Sunday. I mean, he played absolutely great on Sunday. 5 touchdown passes, that's amazing. Or 5 touchdowns, at least he was accounted for. That was great. If he can play consistently really, really good football, the Jaguars are going to be tough to beat. Got a pretty good defense, and so it's really all hinges on him. But Trevor Lawrence, so far in his career, he's been marked by inconsistency. The Chargers and Chiefs, man, there's not a more boring. Is there a more boring team to watch in the NFL this year than the Los Angeles Chargers? Like they're winning some games. But they are boring, and I don't get it. Like I understand they got a new coach. Harbaugh came in, and he wants to run the ball more. He wants to play tough defense. All of that, I get that, and I like that. But how did Herbert go from like throwing touchdowns everywhere to like it's like they barely score more than 16, 17 points in a game? I don't get it. I just know it makes them really boring to watch. If they're playing on prime time, I'm like, I don't know if I want to tune into that game. The Chiefs, on the other hand, eliminated from the playoffs. Wow, this is it's been a long time coming for that. I am in no way, though, celebrating Patrick Mahomes getting injured, tearing his ACL. That's terrible. Hate to see it, but I am not going to miss the Chiefs in the playoffs one bit. I heard Rich Eisen making a take on his show that you guys are going to miss Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs when the playoffs come around. And I was like, I know I'm not. I'm not going to miss the Chiefs at all. I'm actually excited about this playoff year coming up because I feel like there's different teams. I feel like things are shaking up a little bit. That we don't know who's going to come out of this thing on top, and the Chiefs are out. And so I'm actually more excited about these playoffs than I've been in a long time. I'm not going to miss the Chiefs at all. Okay, then we move on to the Cardinals and the Texans. The Texans, man, C.J. Stroud, he's been really inconsistent since his rookie year. He had a kind of a slump last year, started off slow this year, but man, he's starting to turn it on a little bit. And so look out for the Texans. They could be something to worry about. The Cardinals, same old, same old. Kyler Murray, he's never going to be great. He's never going to get you anywhere significant. He's never going to take you to the promised land. Let's just be real. The Cardinals, they're going to be, they're tough. They can beat anybody. That's how the Cardinals have been for the last couple years, but they're not doing anything special. But the Texans, they're starting to turn it on right at the right time. All right, we've got the Browns and the Bears. And, man, the Browns, what a terrible, terrible organization the Browns are. I mean, it's really sad because they have great fans. Me and my brothers, and we went to a Saints game in Cleveland a couple years ago when at Christmas time, whenever it was super cold. It was like negative 15 degrees. And we were out there in that game, and that was fun. And just seeing the Browns fans, though, turn up. They really have a great fan base. They love their team. They want to win, but, man, they are just terribly run. They just cannot do anything. And so, but, hey, it's the Browns are the Browns. Shedeur, I don't think Shedeur looks terrible. It's really hard to tell because they're obviously a mess. How many quarterbacks have they gone through this year? I mean, they've gone through like 3 quarterbacks this year, each one as bad as the last one. This is a good example of how bad the Browns organization is. So Joe Flacco was there this year, and obviously he didn't do anything special. Goes over to the Bengals, who I don't think are the greatest organization, but they've got a better culture than the Browns. Goes over there with some good receivers, and literally Joe Flacco looks like he's 25 again. That's just a good example. You look at guys like Baker Mayfield, who was there, and he had some success, but they get rid of him. Oh, yeah, Baker Mayfield's the problem. They get rid of everyone like they're the problem. And the Browns are the problem. The Browns organization is the problem. And so the Browns, they're just a sad story in the NFL. It's really sad because they've got a great brand. They've got great fans. I hate to see it for them, for those fans, I mean. But then you got the Bears. The Bears, I'm going to be honest, I didn't see this coming. Caleb Williams looks like he might turn into, he didn't have the booming rookie season like Jaden Daniels did and Bo Nix did, but he's coming on strong, and I think that Caleb Williams is going to end up being a problem. And I think it's safe to say the Browns got a great coach. Ben Johnson has brought a great culture in that locker room. They are playing tough. They're playing hard. Caleb Williams has gotten a lot better with a great offensive coach. The Bears are dangerous. I can't say I trust them in the playoffs. I don't see them going to the Super Bowl, but they're tough. I'll give them that, and I think that they're just getting started. I think that they are starting a long run that's going to be good for years to come with Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams. And so I'm excited about the Bears. I love an NFL where the Bears are good. I like the Bears. I like their logo. I like everything about the Bears. I love it when the Bears are good. You've got the Commanders and the Giants, probably one of the biggest stinkers of the week, but I picked the Commanders to win this game, and they did. And the Giants, I don't have any confidence in Jackson Dart. I don't think the Giants are going. I think the Giants are going nowhere fast. Jackson Dart is not going to be the answer. I'm telling you right now, they're going to go probably 2 years messing around with Jackson Dart, and they're going to realize he's not going to cut it. He's just watching him run. I'm trying to think of who he reminds me of, but he just reminds me of a scrappy guy. maybe like a Tim Tebow type guy. He can win you some games. He's scrappy, but he's not going to get you on top of the mountain. It's just not going to happen. If I could tell the Giants something, I would say don't waste any more time on Jackson Dart. He's not the long-term solution. He's not going to win you division championships in a division with the Eagles and the Cowboys. He's just not going to do it. And the Commanders, they've got Jaden Daniels. He's definitely a franchise guy. But I just think that they're going to waste a lot of time with Jackson Dart, and I hate to see it because he's not the answer. Anyways, the Washington ends up pulling it out, and 29-21. Then we had the Eagles and the Raiders, and man, the Eagles just stomped on the Raiders, and no big surprise there. The Raiders are absolutely terrible. Geno Smith, man, he just really did not pan out this year. I know he didn't play in this game. He had Pickett, and so they're just kind of scrambling over there, and it's just a mess. The Eagles are people love to hate on the Eagles, but listen, they're the reigning Super Bowl champs. Jalen Hurts, he's not a flashy quarterback at all. I think the Eagles have missed Kellen Moore. I think they really missed Kellen Moore this year. I think that's the key to their offensive struggles. But let me tell you, if they settle in, they can go on a run in the playoffs because they've got defense. They've got Jalen Hurts, who's been there. He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. He may not be Peyton Manning or Tom Brady, but he's proven he can win a Super Bowl. They've got weapons on the outside. Look out for the Eagles. They're nothing to take lightly. Then you've got the Colts and you've got the Seahawks, 18-16, the famous Phillip Rivers debut with the Colts at 44 years old. Man, he's looking heavy. He had a couple extra pounds on him, but the Seahawks ended up winning. Seahawks, they're good, man. And the Seahawks are not a team I would want to play in the playoffs. Sam Darnold, who's just been playing great for them. And again, I put up a short of this, but again, I just want to reiterate here. What were the Vikings thinking? What were they thinking giving up Sam Darnold? Sam Darnold, it's not like he's old. Isn't he like 29, 30 years old? He won 14 games for the Vikings last year, and then they just say, hey, let's get this guy who we're not even so sure is going to be a great quarterback and send Sam Darnold on his way. I just think that was a terrible decision. He's got the Seahawks winning. They're going to be a tough team in the playoffs. Green Bay Packers and the Broncos. The Broncos won 34-26. Hate to see Micah Parsons going down, but man, the Broncos, number one seed in the AFC right now. Listen, the coaches matter, guys, in this league. Coaches matter. Sean Payton, he's from that Bill Parcells ilk, and he's a great coach. Went to the Saints, changed that organization. We are learning now. Trust me, we're learning as a Saints fan right now that Mickey Loomis was not the brains behind that operation. It was Sean Payton, and they ended up getting a great quarterback, and it happened to be a great combination, Sean Payton and Drew Brees. But Sean Payton knows how to build a culture. He knows how to lead men. He knows how to call plays on offense. He knows how to build an organization. And just in a short amount of time, taking a Broncos team that was in a terrible situation with terrible cap problems and all of that, and they're the number one seed in the AFC. He's a great. Sean Payton has one of the best eyes for talent that I've ever seen. Not only best eyes for talent, but he sees talent in the draft, and he knows he has a vision immediately about how he wants to use them. He saw Bo Nix, and he knew exactly how he wanted to use Bo Nix, and so the Broncos. I would look out for them in the playoffs because they have a great defense. Then you've got the Titans and the 49ers. We already talked about the Titans. Just, unbelievable that they let Mike Vrabel go, but they are what they are. The 49ers won 37-24. They're just inconsistent. Seems like every year they've got injuries. I don't get that. It's just they can't stay healthy. I do not trust them in the playoffs at all, but nonetheless, they're a tough team. They can beat anybody. You've got the Panthers and you've got the Saints. Man, my Saints showed up. Tyler Shuck, baby. He's balling out. He's winning some games, and the team is excited to play with him and for him. And so, look, I'll say this about my Saints: I'm excited about the future. I really think we got a good coach in Kellen Moore. He obviously knows how to handle an offense. He obviously knows how to help quarterback along. But I think he's like, I watch our time together in the locker room afterwards and his speeches, and there just seems to be such a good culture and vibe in a locker room for a team that's 4-10. Like, it's like you'd think they'd be much more depressed than they are, but our locker room seems to be strong. That tells me that Kellen Moore is a leader of men. He knows how to build culture, and so I'm excited about the future. I'm not going to lie. We may have found our guy in Tyler Shuck. We still got a couple games left to figure out if we want to and put him out there for another whole year. That would be awesome if we could go into this offseason and we could know we've got a franchise quarterback and we could build around him in the draft. I'm okay with us losing the fight for the number one overall pick or anything. I'm okay drafting 10th or 7th or whatever we need to draft. If we are able to decide, hey, Tyler Shuck is our future, I'm okay drafting a little later and then getting guys to build around. And so real excited about that win. The Saints win. I haven't felt any. Sunday was the first time I've actually felt a flicker of hope for the Saints. And so I'm excited. I'm a little bit excited. I'm not crazy excited, but I'm a little bit excited. Detroit and the Rams, what a game. The Rams win 41-34. The Lions, they seem like their steam's kind of running out. They ain't quite what they were. I felt like last year. This is what I felt about the Lions last year. I felt like last year was their year. If they couldn't get it done last year, I felt like they're going to fizzle out. And I feel like that's happening. I feel like they're only going to get worse for a couple years. I hope not. But they lost 41-34. And the Rams, they are my pick in the NFC to go to the Super Bowl. I just think the Rams are amazing. I think Matthew Stafford is amazing. And I think that the Rams are going to go to the Super Bowl. They are playing great. They've got a great coach. They've got a Super Bowl winning coach, Super Bowl winning quarterback, a Hall of Fame quarterback. The Rams are, in my opinion, they're the team to beat in the NFC. Then we've got the Cowboys and the Vikings, and I picked the Vikings over the Cowboys. Honestly, I didn't feel super confident about that pick. I'm just, as a Saints fan, around this area, Shreveport, Louisiana, you're either a Cowboys fan or you're a Saints fan, and I don't like Cowboys. Okay, so I had to pick against them. Honestly, I was a little surprised that the Vikings pulled that one out because I have zero faith in J.J. McCarthy. I think that the Vikings are going to end up similar to the Giants. I think that the Giants are going to waste time with Jackson Dart and then realize he's not the guy. I feel like that J.J. McCarthy's going to do that for the Vikings. He's going to give the Vikings a little bit of false hope. They're going to have him for a couple years. Like, he's been bad all year. He's had a couple good games, but this is what he's going to do. He's going to have a good game here and there. Going to be like, oh, yeah, we can do this. But they're going to find out eventually he's just not the guy. Jackson Dart, same deal. He's going to have a good game here and there, and then eventually they're going to find out after they've wasted a couple of years he's not the guy. That's what's going to happen with J.J. McCarthy. I think that they totally messed up. The Vikings totally messed up by getting rid of Sam Darnold and taking on J.J. McCarthy. They've got a great coach. They had a great thing going with Sam Darnold, one of the best receivers, if not the best receiver in the NFL with Justin Jefferson. And what did they do? They threw it all away on a guy who wasn't even that great. And J.J. McCarthy was not even that great in college. He wasn't that great. I mean, Michigan had a great defense. It was a Jim Harbaugh, tough running team, defensive team, just like the Jim Harbaugh's team with the Chargers. It's not quarterback dependent. It's about being tough, winning on defense, and running the football. J.J. McCarthy was in a system where he didn't have to do much. And you're going to get rid of a guy who won 14 games for you in Sam Darnold and draft a guy like J.J. McCarthy. This is trouble. And I think they made a terrible mistake, and they're going to end up wasting time on him. The Steelers and the Dolphins closed it out on Monday, and they are the Steelers. The Steelers ended up winning that game, and this is what I think about this. First of all, Tua. Let's talk about that. They benched Tua. They are putting in what's his name? Quinn Ewers is going to start for the Dolphins from here on out. But Tua is benched. Look, I feel bad for Tua. Been through a lot of concussions, all of that. But I've kind of seen the writing on the wall for a while. He just wasn't the guy. He's okay. He had some great weapons, and I think that Mike McDaniels is a great play caller. And so the Dolphins, look, they're just a mess. I think there's a lot of changes coming there. I don't think Mike McDaniels is going to survive the end of the year. I think that he's going to end up getting fired. This is my problem with Mike McDaniels. I don't think he's a great culture guy. Okay, there you got to have a culture. I think Mike McDaniels is a genius offensively, and he will have no trouble as an offensive coordinator. But I just don't think he's head coaching material. I mean, one thing I didn't understand, and if you watched the game, you heard Troy Aikman and Joe Buck kind of being frustrated about it. But they had a chance late in that game, and it was like there was no rush. They weren't rushing. They weren't trying to hurry up. They weren't doing anything like that. Didn't make any sense. I feel like the culture is not super strong there. I don't know. I think that Mike McDaniel's an offensive genius, but I don't think he's a head coach guy. And I don't think he's going to be Miami's head coach long. And then we'll see what Quinn Ewers can do for them, what he's got. But that'll be interesting. As far as the Steelers go, the Steelers, they acted like they were on top of the world winning that game. I don't know what they were so excited about. They beat a warm weather team in a cold environment, a team that's not very good in the Dolphins, and they're sitting there walking around like they're the bee's knees. I have no confidence in the Steelers. This is my problem with the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers, and I felt this way with the Jets. Of course, the Jets were worse than the Steelers, but with Aaron Rodgers, look, he's definitely old. You can see his age, okay? And he can still sling the ball. But there's something about it that everything on offense looks so hard for them. Like it just feels like it looks hard. Even with Aaron Rodgers, and I remember back in when Aaron Rodgers was in his prime and he was really great. Offense looked easy for them. It was like every play is going to be a completion. He never threw incompletions. And he was always throwing bombs down the field and all of that. And it just, in his older age, everything looks so hard. In a playoff environment, when those defenses get tougher, I just don't think that they're going to survive. I don't think that they're going to make it. I think this is going to be a one and done deal. I don't think that they'll lose like in the first game of the playoffs. Maybe not the first game if they win, since they will probably be division winners. But they're not going to the Super Bowl. They're not beating the Bills. I don't think they're beating Patriots. I don't think that's going to happen. So not a lot of confidence in the Steelers. I don't think that they're anything to worry about in the AFC. Tough squad, well coached. But anyways, that was my picks. I went 14-1, and that's a little bit of what I think about each team. There's a lot going on in the NFL right now, and so anyways, I wanted to talk just a minute about also. Before I move on, I just want to say I'll be making my picks for this next week. I'll be making those tomorrow since we've got the Thursday night game. So I'll make my picks again. We'll see if I can do similar to this week. That was really good. So hopefully I can have another good week of picks. But I want to talk just for a minute about the MVP race. You've really got three guys that have been in the conversation: Matthew Stafford, Josh Allen, Drake May. Drake May's been great. But I just right now, this, in my opinion, this is a clear race between Matthew Stafford and Josh Allen. And these guys are playing unbelievable. Honestly, if you want to talk about most valuable player, you're really splitting hairs with these guys. Both of them, if either one of these teams lost Matthew Stafford and one of them lost Josh, or the Bills lost Josh Allen and the Rams lost Matthew Stafford, you would be looking at teams falling off. Okay, let's just be real. If the Bills didn't have Josh Allen and the Rams didn't have Matthew Stafford, they would be average teams in this league. Okay, but you add these guys to the mix, these most valuable players, these MVPs, and you're talking about two of the best teams in the league, very well could be the Super Bowl this year. Okay, that's how good these guys are. My pick personally, I just think that Matthew Stafford has been unbelievable. He has been unbelievable. The fact that he kind of looked like had been struggling the last couple of years, and then for this year, he has just been so good. I've been watching him in his games, and it's just like he's accurate. He's making good decisions. He's reading defenses well. All the above. Josh Allen, listen, Josh Allen's had a lot of bad games this year. Yes, he's been Superman in a lot of games for sure, but Matthew Stafford has been way more consistently productive, in my opinion, than Josh Allen. And so if I had a vote for MVP, I would vote Matthew Stafford all day. The guy is playing unbelievable. He is a future Hall of Famer. What an amazing quarterback, and what really both these guys are playing amazing. Both of them are worthy of the most valuable player. If I had a vote, I would be going Matthew Stafford. So anyways, guys, that's 30 minutes on that video. That's longer than I thought I was going to go. So I'm going to go ahead and close it here. I hope you guys found this entertaining. Let me know your thoughts on any of my takes or anything that I said. Let me know in the comments section. Like the video, subscribe. Thank y'all so much for tuning in.